in the blue tabards, we have the Brotherhood! A lot of experience from these fighters. Some wonderful events in Denmark this year, including a World Championship. They hold a lot of experience with them. They've traveled a lot this year, but they face another formidable team. DFK! Again, you can see marshals getting the best position they can do just outside of the list. They do have a lot of room here between the list and the ropes where the audience stay, which is a lot better. Sometimes there can be such little space, it makes it extremely difficult to move. However, space is not an issue here today. We can see a lot of the public have turned up already, but we're looking for a lot more people this afternoon for further rounds of the 5 versus 5, the women's sword versus shield, and don't forget the women's 3 versus 3. There appears to be some discrepancy with helmet for DFK, which means one of the reserve fighters will have to go in. I want to say reserve fighter is not because they're of a lower quality, it's purely because of the numerical advantage. If you have a fighter who goes on for the entire 5 minutes permitted per round, then they'll be extremely tired, and to go into another round will be exhausting. Therefore, they have people in the back waiting to take over. So there'll be some adjustments to the DFK armor there. Both teams ready to engage. The fight begins. A cautious start there. Slight advance from DFK. Quite a tentative approach to there. Quite a slow start. However, there's some work coming down from the axe there. So still some DFK fighters wanting where to go. Nice charge there coming through. The DFK fighter is down already. And that looks like one of the DFK fighters in big trouble there, but it is fairly evenly matched. You do have one Brotherhood fighter with an advantage, comes down smashing on the helmet with the axe. We've got some great energy here coming through from DFK. But it looks like the fight has been taken to the corners. Both teams very evenly matched. And incredibly, one of the DFK fighters is already on the ground, but they are still holding their own. Brotherhood not able to take advantage of the numbers that they have. A charge coming through there and a big kick to the side. And you can see right over the other side of the list, we have got another fight going on. The DFK fighter did actually lose his weapon, but he correctly went to his team support to gain another weapon, another foul shot, and it looks like he's really pulling away the list there. And I see the Brotherhood fighter haven't really coordinated their teamwork so much because they just cannot take advantage of these numbers. So shots coming down there, and a great push there from DFK. Maybe they'll be able to take advantage of this and get the fighter on the ground. However, he's holding on to the list very, very strongly. Experience, size, and strength, and fitness, as well as technique, all contributing factors to this. Absolutely everything. So a nice charge coming through from DFK. Big smack into the Brotherhood fighter, and he's taken down. The numbers have evened out. There's a phenomenal takedown there for DFK, who have evened up the score now. The Brotherhood desperately trying to push the fighters down now. We've got another Brotherhood fighter down. DFK now with the advantage. Wow, this is hard fought. But we've got, once again, even numbers there, but there's a hustle of bodies down by the bottom there. The Brotherhood fighter's gone down. DFK now with a big advantage. It is 3 versus 2. DFK now going to clear business. Turn out to a very evenly matched round. They're going to need to break away from that list at some point. Charging shots at the back there. A nice counter-attack coming from the Brotherhood fighter. DFK fighter starts to tire, so goes straight for the list to hang on to. And that's it! DFK with the first round. Outstanding fighting. Let's hear it for them. Already you can see the level of the fighters here. That was something quite spectacular. An early lead there coming from the Brotherhood. Couldn't take advantage of the numbers. DFK, however, responded, and they've got the round. Maintenance for the list. Some maintenance required for the list as one of the buttresses has come loose. Of course, safety is crucially important, so it needs to be fixed as quickly as possible. The rest of the list has been very well set up. And I think, to be honest, the fighters will be quite glad of having a short break there. I think the Night Marshal is making a decision that, in fact, it does have to be fixed, so maintenance is there straight away. And they're going to need a bit more space than that. Quite surprising that it came loose. It was well fixed from the inside. But these things can and do happen, especially the first time with this, although the structure is pretty solid. So too are the fighters. So it's held together with rope, which is deemed sufficient at this point. Later on, when there is a break, it will be fixed with a bolt. After this fight, we will have some maintenance on that particular buttress. It's extremely important that it is fixed. We go now to round two. The Brotherhood looking to get back the points. Marshall steps out of the way, but there's a nice early charge there from DFK, who are taking the fight right deep into the heart of the Brotherhood. Big charge there coming across. There's still a lot of movement, a lot of action here. It's wide open. Nobody pressed onto the list just yet, or just in the corner, in fact, and both go down at the same time. So still 4 versus 4. You have 2 DFK fighters in the corner hammering away, and a great charge there from the Brotherhood. Can't quite take down that loose DFK fighter. Oh, there's some good movement going on, and the DFK can't quite get the Brotherhood fighter down. An early charge coming in. A big kick there from the DFK fighter. However, he's hunted down by the Brotherhood fighter. Needs to get there quickly and help his teammate, who is now out. He's been declared out by the Marshal, who has called it attention to the Night Marshal that in fact there was a problem with his helmet. Therefore now it is all DFK. Oh, a great charge there! Oh, that's a great takedown from the Brotherhood! So Denmark's finest right here. Oh, a nice early charge there from the Brotherhood, who goes down himself! Oh, he'll be so disappointed with that. But now it is 2 against 1. DFK grinding down on the Brotherhood. Just one more to take down, but he's not going anywhere. Some shots coming through. Gravity is not his best friend right now. Can they get him to the ground? And it's over. Big applause there for DFK. Well, that was an extremely close fight. Just a very, very, very short break now while we get the buttress fixed. It just needs a bolt through it. However, the maintenance team are straight on the case, so it will be ready in just a few moments. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Let's hear it for them. Come on! Now entering the list from Denmark, DFK! I think we're going to have another fairly evenly matched fight here. DFK, I might say, are the more nimble team. It's a slighter build. They take advantage of runners. However, the UK Fed, well, I got some big fighters out there. Already it goes to one side of the list. Yeah, loose fighters coming through there, but that charge not making a big difference, and a great charge there from the DFK fighter. The two pole arms hammering down on each other. As you can see, a UK Fed fighter holding on down to the list. However, the DFK fighter has firmly got a grip on his helmet. He's now breaking away, and that is the UK Fed fighter who's already gone down. There's the intervention there from the marshal, but it's okay. And another UK Fed fighter has gone down. DFK now with a big advantage. Smacking down on the UK Fed fighters who are held against that list. They're going to need to start working on the legs there, but they cannot quite reach them. They're covered by their own teammates. Some big shots coming through by DFK. And I think one fighter down. UK Fed now coming back. Some great support there coming from UK Fed 1, who we just saw storm the last round against the Danish team. Some big shots coming in, but they're just not connecting. And there's a Danish fighter who's lost his weapon, will be past another one, who now charges back through. They need to be extremely careful they don't fall over. If they step backwards, fall over their own fighters who have been already grounded. Connections coming through, but this is no easy task. And UK Fed, he could just manage to free up his weapon there so he can strike back at the two DFK fighters who are really hammering into him. How much more can he carry on? He's now not holding on to the list, and that is it, he's gone. The UK Fed fighter has gone. And it seems to be called by the marshals, though I'm not quite sure why, because the UK Fed still have two fighters there. That may have just been a misjudgment there from the night marshal. These things can and do happen. However, it's now looking all DFK, and that is it. Outstanding work there. Well, the night marshals decided that now it's stopped. Very bold. Well, there appears to be some discussion between marshals and fighters there. As we continue the fight. Don't forget, we've got plenty more action. We have got another 3 rounds of the men's 5 versus 5 Bohurt category. Then, of course, we'll take a short break, which will give us all an opportunity to get beer and stroopwafels. And we call the start of the next round. DFK in the white and purple against UK Fed 2. Looking to come back from this. The UK Fed looking to take advantage of their size there. They're going to need to charge down these extremely fast DFK fighters. And that's a nice move. Charge straight into the list, however. And you can see it's all pretty evenly matched here. But the DFK fighter is loose. And that's a thundering charge, which has torn right through the tabard of the UK Fed fighter. Outstanding moves there. You can see again DFK with an advantage here. However, it is pretty much in the open now. DFK with a big advantage. Can they take it more advantage of this by hacking down the UK Fed fighters who remain standing? Look, pretty much locked against the list here. There is an advantage there for DFK, and they're moving out. 2 UK Fed fighters left. Got more than everything to do here. You can see fighters trying to contact call his teammates, give me instructions of what to do. Slight bit of the arm showing there from the UK Fed fighter, which could have been very, very dangerous. Hacking away at the arms there, but that UK Fed fighter is not going anywhere. You will not move the big man so easily. And they need to be careful they don't just grind themselves down like that. However, there's a big jump there and might be able to take one of the DFK fighters down with him. But it's not going to happen today, and he's gone! And then it's over. DFK with a great victory there. Outstanding fights there. You can see some instruction there from the marshals. Looks like you can see how exhausted these UK-fed fighters are, understandably so. So the UK-fed 2 fighters. White Company! This promises to be something quite spectacular. These 2 teams dominated the round. DFK with a slow start came back against the Brotherhood to win. Formidable performance there. White Company dominating, strong performances, but I think they've met their match now. Final preparations for the marshals called by the Night Marshal. And White Company charge off to an early start, but they've been met with some thundering pressure from the DFK fighters, who pull it to the list. That's a DFK fighter down already. They were 2 on top of each other. White Company now with an advantage, hammering down on the DFK fighters, who do have a fast advantage, but it's all up against the list now. Thundering away on that loose DFK fighter. How much more can he hold on? You have a 1 versus 1 in the corner there, but it looks like the DFK fighter might have an advantage there. Looking to get through, but then there's some good teamwork there from White Company as the DFK fighter breaks through, charges the White Company fighter, nothing comes from it, and he's caught out there, very nearly goes down, and looks like there was another DFK fighter down. White Company with all the numbers, and they're about to take it. White Company take the first round. Stunning fight there. Well, it's a sharp fight, but there was some good aggression there from DFK, and I think the White Company weren't expecting such a push, and it appears there are a couple of changes for DFK. So we prepare now for round 2. White Company already leaning forward, waiting to get stuck in, looking for a fast start from DFK to come back. Good aggression already coming through from DFK. White Company not able to get a takedown just yet. Solid moves there from both teams. This is very, very evenly matched, and it looks like one of the DFK fighters is already down, but the White Company fighter can't break free. Now he can. And it's a big charge, and needs to be careful as he's slammed into the list by White Company. White Company now hammering down. I know we've got another DFK fighter down, and it looks like there are just 2 remaining. White Company still 5 fighters standing, and that is it! White Company! Well, DFK not making it easy for them, but White Company, what can you say? Making their way back into the list. From Denmark, DFK! They, however, will be greeted by these formidable fighters from this very area. Ramstäk Frisia! After final checks have been made, the Night Marshal calls for the start of round one. DFK with an early charge here, and they are stopped, however, by Ramstäk Frisia, who charged them back, and there is already a Frisian fighter down. Superb fighting there from DFK. This is incredible work. And that very, very smooth there from DFK, and already that is a first round victory for DFK. And in spite of the mildly blue skies way over in the distance, the rain is now horizontal, which I wouldn't have expected in the Netherlands, but I am Scottish, so I have very low standards. DFK with a superb round there. However, it's all about round two now, and Ramstäk Frisia were looking to be steadfast, but they have been charged at straight away by the strong DFK team, and already there is one down. You can see the frustration, and also a Frisian down in the corner who's got one knee down, evens it out. However, there's another Frisian down, and it's all about DFK, and that is over. Stop! Very unfortunate of the DFK fighter to go down so early against the charge. However, they responded rapidly and without hesitation. Please welcome from Denmark, DFK! They're closely followed by, from the Netherlands, Lions of Steel! DFK, the favoured fighters here, extremely rapid. However, Lions of Steel coming out with some crucial victories. I think all fighters at this stage will welcome the 30-minute break at this point. Fatigue, never mind that. They'll be exhausted. However, they are at the absolute peak of physical fitness. Appears to be a technical issue whereby the list gate is not closing. For this round, it may be possible only to have a rope closure, but after that, it will need to be bolted shut, which means it could take a while. If this is the case, we might, in fact, break early, one fight earlier, if we cannot fix the gate at that point. Okay, we'll call it. DFK charging early against Lions of Steel. And that is some great shots coming down from both fighters there. A runner goes to the back now, but it's caught by DFK and still looking for that charge there, but it's open. All fighters now got on the list, and that is a break there. The Lions of Steel fighter down by the DFK fighter. Some great aggression shown here, however. The frustration of the Lions of Steel fighter clearly visible. However, DFK are starting to take control now. However, oh, that's a great takedown there. Big shots coming from DFK. Absolutely grinding down that leg. How he's still standing is a mystery. Phenomenal strength. Oh, that is a huge smash to the arm. And I think there could even be an injury there. The marshals have called a stop there to get medical assistance. Medical assistance to the list, please. And that was a huge shot to the arm of the fighter. It was unfortunate the way that the fighter was holding on to the list, because it took all of his forearm. It looks to be in some pain at the moment. Injuries in this sport can and do happen. They're quite rare, serious injuries. The serious injuries are largely due to insufficient armor. So trying to save money if you're getting into the sport and buying cheap armor is your first mistake, because cheap armor leads to injuries. However, some things can happen. It might be something like a light scuff from a sword, from a shield, a piece of armor, or it might be holding onto the list in a difficult position. If your limbs are imbalanced and they take a hard knock from a weapon, you've seen how hard the fighters are hitting, it can cause problems. The fighter still seems to be in some discomfort here, but we'll give you an update as to what's happening earlier. We've had a couple of injuries today. Fortunately, so far, well, the previous injuries, nothing serious. One was just a scuff, and the other was an unfortunate knock to the thumb. But the good news is that the fighter was not critically injured and not seriously injured. However, in that moment, it does hurt. However, the organisers have made sure that there's the best medical assistance in the country at hand, because as you can see, people can and do suffer injuries here. However, we'll keep you updated as to how things go. So, the fighter now needing some assistance in standing up. A big round of applause, please, for this fighter, the Lions of Steel. Well, it looks like there was some serious discomfort there for the moment. And of course, he will still require medical attention. But at the moment, it doesn't seem serious, but I will keep you informed about his progress. The Night Marshal calls for continuation of the fight now. DFK with some big shots. That helmet coming back, and another fighter has lost his weapon. This is good news for DFK, who can take advantage of this. But are looking for a separation of the fighters there. Some great strikes coming down there from DFK. And that is some stunning work there. I can see that Marshall is actually calling the DFK fighter down, which evens things out to 2 versus 2. The DFK halberdier there with some crushing strikes, and we've got a Lions of Steel fighter who's gone down there. It is now then 2 against 1. So closely called, but that Lions of Steel fighter, he's taken some serious blows, and he's holding on holding the helmet. No, he's not holding on. The thumb was not below the face guard. So even though pushing down on the helmet is still not legal, however, wearing down the Lions of Steel fighter now. What's he got left inside of him? Stamping on him to get him down as quickly as possible, and that is over. DFK with a victory. The marshals in a discussion about whether or not the strike was legal, but from our understanding it seemed perfectly legal. How he was holding on was unfortunate. Of course, appeals, to be fair, should be made by the team captain to the Night Marshal. And we have so the Night Marshal calls for a check on the rigidity of the list. And he's calling for the start of the next round. For the moment, the list gate is held together by rope, which for one round will be sufficient. But after this point, remember, we'll be taking a 30-minute break after this fight. So the fighters go into engage now. DFK will be looking to take care of this quickly. However, the Lions will still only have 4 fighters. However, DFK, very sporting, have decided to accept that and go for 4 fighters as well. But that's the Lions will still fight it down already. Loose fighters, great strikes there from both teams. The DFK fighters slamming into them, and that is it. Outstanding fighting there from DFK.
Still one fight missing. Okay, so but it has to be rolled. Okay, fine. So next fight and then.
FK! And they are up against none other than from the Netherlands, Ascia! Both teams with a phenomenal presence here. All involved in some extremely close fights. DFK we saw before with some incredible speed and aggression. Ascia instead actually have some very precise and technical fighting, which brought them the victories that they fought so hard for. They of course have their Italian mercenary who has the biggest flag I think I've ever seen. It's almost a tabard, but there we got that characteristic start again. In fact, he's not going with a shield this time, but just the one-handed weapon. And you can see that DFK tried to break through the lines there to that mercenary. However, Ascia have held on very, very well. Some nice movement from both teams here. However, you got those 2 polearm fighters there, and that's going to be quite a bout. But you have 2 runners, and the mercenary for Ascia has fallen. So DFK with an advantage here. However, you can see the aggression slamming down on these fighters. And now you have an opportunity almost falling over. There's another DFK fighter down, and things now have balanced out. This could get very interesting indeed. Charges for the DFK fighter who can't get him down. But it's now 3 against 2. DFK with a slight advantage in this round. You can see he goes for a strong strike there, but doesn't connect. Well, the Ascia fighter responds straight away. And they're trying very close to getting the fighter down. If he's down, this will be it. And that is called. Superb work there from DFK from Denmark. Nine Master now calls for the hurried start of the next round. And of course, the start once again, that characteristic early start, but he pulls back. And a cautious start there from both teams, but they're now charging to the lists, which have been holding up very well. And there's already one Ascia fighter on the ground. DFK with an advantage here. And a good charge there from DFK, who find some space there now. Pulling down on these Ascia fighters. A great takedown there. Good teamwork from DFK. Now the Danes, still with it all to do, have a great advantage here of 4 versus 2. Big shots coming down there. Working on the mercenary, who is close to the ground there. Somehow is still going, and a great takedown there from DFK, and that is over. Outstanding work. You can see the Italian mercenary has taken one to the chin there. He's done worse shaving. Yeah, he's showing off now. Just Federation 1. And this promises to be quite a match. Both very fast, both very aggressive. UK Federation 1 face DFK! An early charge once again from DFK, who do have a very, very fast team. Some great aggression shown by both teams at this point, holding on to the list. However, there's already a lean in to Danish fighters holding back, quite tentative there. The Danish fighter in a bad position with his polearm, taking some punishment there. They've got one loose in the middle. However, they cannot quite take them down. These DFK fighters, very, very experienced, very quick on their feet, very, very light, going for the takedown there. Huge kick down, but he's gone down. DFK now not in a good position with the numbers. UK Fed looking to work on this, holding on. DFK very, very close to losing another fighter there. There seems to be some disagreement with the marshal there. The UK Fed fighter is still unsure of what's happening. However, on the list, you've got some very, very close skirmishes. Lots of weight being put down on these DFK fighters. The UK Fed now looking to smack down on the arms of these DFK fighters. Extraordinarily close. The pure strength involved in this. And it's not just a question of putting your weight down. They're going to pull down with all of their muscles. The strain it puts on this fighter's backs is absolutely incredible. How they hold on to the list is something quite phenomenal. But again, evenly matched. 4 skirmishes, far away from each other. And this is where the tiredness starts to set in. No team was able to get the break there. And that appears to be A very, very close point with the DFK has to be careful where his feet go, because if both feet are outside of the list, then he is technically out of the fight. The break up there between two fighters, which might make the difference. They're going to go for different skirmishes. However, the DFK fighter is not letting the UK Fed fighter go anywhere, and that's a double takedown. Both of them are gone. Down to 3 skirmishes, 1 versus 1. Again, quite a distance between the 3 of them. And that's looks like that is a call down for the DFK fighter. UK Fed 1 looking to take advantage of this. Some big shots coming to the back against this DFK fighter. Can the UK Fed sweep out the legs and take care of this round? Incredible strength being shown by these big Danish fighters, and that's it. Solid victory there for UK Fed 1. Swift changeover for UK Fed 1 and DFK. Both teams ready for the fight now. Last words of encouragement from the fighters and support behind the UK Fed and DFK. 2 very, very evenly matched teams. DFK for some reason wanting to shoot themselves in the foot and have 1 fighter too few in the list. Not what we want to do against UK Fed 1. And it looks as though they're all ready to go there. And the Night Marshal once again calls it. Moving out of the way of the fighters. Sharp blows coming there. Great attack there from DFK. Not enough to pull down the fighter, but great movement from the Danish. Taking some heavy blows to the back there. 2 fighters holding back and waiting for a run, waiting for a burst. The UK holding on, some great aggression thrown there. And the UK Fed fighter manages to stand on his feet, my goodness knows how. Oh, that is a great takedown by this UK Fed fighter. The UK in control now. As another fighter goes to the ground. It is now all of the UK Fed against DFK, smashing into the fighters, working them down. And that is over. UK Fed 1 have done it. Phenomenal fight there. Now, after this next fight, we are taking a very short break of 5 minutes, and then we've got something special for you. Oh, yes, we do.